In some ways, this game is similar to EDF 2017, especially in sheer number of missions and the amount of repetition of the maps. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything really worth changing here at the moment. I remember the PS2 games had the option of English or Japanese dialogue. I guess they stopped bothering with that in this console generation. Right. Time to make our generic player character. Again, this is the only game in the series that pulls this particular trick. Usually you have 2 or 3 already established characters to choose from. Okay, why does changing our face change the entire skin tone of our body? Still a more comprehensive character creator than the EDF series, but that's not asking for much. Hell, if anything, I'm making decisions more based on the hairstyle than anything else that comes around here. Right, what options for clothes do we have this early on? Okay, so we've got a few options that look pretty damn similar to Ayame, a character who appeared in every Tenchu except for this one. I suppose that's to make up for the fact that she appeared in Fatal Shadows, and her partner, Rikimaru, was a no-show there. I really don't feel the need to alter anything here at the moment. Granted, balance stats aren't what you would consider optimal in most role players, but then this isn't the kind of game where you level up. And it's not like you can tell just how crippled you might be if you lower your agility when you're on the stat screen here. We just don't have that many points to play around with at the start here. As for customizing our partner, not much point to it really. It's not like we'll actually work alongside the guy in any of our missions. We just deploy solo all the time. So, I took just as much time customizing the guy we aren't going to see or hear much from in this game as I did the girl we're going to be playing as. Sorry, buddy, but you don't get the dignity of wearing a classic ninja mask. You are a rookie who never really grows into his own, and possibly becomes jealous of the main character for being so damn badass. Wait, why didn't we get to name the character we're actually playing as? Why give us the option to name our partner, who again, we're not actually going to be working alongside in any of the numerous missions we're going to go through in this game? Probably too important a name for a guy who's going to be a throwaway, but it somehow feels more fitting than Kagemaru to me for some reason. Eh, I already did a check of our settings before getting started here, though I suppose I appreciate the chance to check them again, especially since a number of games I don't even think to do so at all. Really, the only thing I feel like changing in this second look is the autosave, since it's easier to know when to end the clip when I'm personally choosing when to save.
時は戦国動乱の時代
I'm pretty sure that the Sengoku period has more video games set during it than any other period of Japanese history. Understandable, it's easy to make stories happen during then, with so much happening at once, but still.
影の世に存在する。この者もまた影の道を選んだ一人である。
I'm not quite sure a lot of people who ended up as ninjas at the time had much of a choice in the matter. Anyway, say hello to Rikimaru, a player character from Tenchu's 1, 2, and 3. I've always been convinced that the artist for Naruto took some measure of inspiration from this game series, considering Rikimaru looks like Kakashi, Ayame looks like Anko, and Onekage, especially in Wrath of Heaven, looks like Orochimaru. Anyway, it looks like we're getting some basic training to start things off here. Kind of appreciate that, considering there's a bit of a mechanical shifting around from one game to the next in this series. Never enough to be outright unrecognizable, at least in the games I've gone through, but still enough to throw you off. And as I said before, this is the only game in the series I can beat without resorting to cheat codes. I probably should have done the non-lethal option since, well, this is training and killing your own guys for training is a bit awkward. But to be fair, this is the only game in the series where we do have a non-lethal option. Every other Tenchu we can only kill. So I'm pretty bloodthirsty in this series. Well, we don't need to worry about him seeing us since he politely gave his back to us. Yeah. That kill certainly didn't feel like an appropriate thanks for helping us graduate from ninja school here. I know it's a turbulent time and all that, but what did the local lord tell his men was going to happen when he fed the poor bastards to the graduating ninja here? Anyway, I'm just going to ignore the tutorial message for the hook for now. As useful as it is in all the Tenchu games, this doesn't feel like the best time to use it to me. Right, that archer is gonna make things tough by being so suspicious where the swordsman from earlier didn't even notice us until we made the killing blow. Maybe we will need the hook to get by this guy. Okay, so we can't use it if we're aiming too low, and it's got an unspecified range limit. I suppose that certainly makes sense, and while the distance we can throw it is absurd based on how strong someone might be, it's certainly not the kind of range you'd get from, say, Batman with his grapple gun. Yeah, probably shouldn't have dropped from that ledge in the first place. Damn, this guy is annoyingly observant. On a personal level, I really want to kill this guy now, but I'm fairly certain that he could be very useful to our clan as an actual guard instead of just a sacrificial lamb for a training sequence. I'm probably overthinking things here. Can you blame me when I've been stuck in this spot, trying to think of a good opportunity to kill the guy and move on for longer than we probably should have been doing? Just who the hell decided that archers needed to be more aware of their close-range surroundings than swordsmen anyway? It's one of those quirks that has been with the series since the absolute first game, just like the pretty good background music and awesome game start themes. The two guys on the raised platforms should be a lot easier to contend with here, assuming, of course, that they don't react to their buddies getting killed on the other platform. Well, that's certainly a nice-looking kill. Pretty sudden, too. I doubt we'll be able to pull it off all that often, but I'm still looking forward to doing it again. So he didn't hear the grapple latch onto the wood just inches from his feet, but heard our sword being unsheathed. I could have sworn the two things sounded about the same. And good God, I'm too in love with sheathing our blades since that was never a thing in the earlier Tenchu games. Hell, it's not much of a thing in most feudal/fantasy games where I use swords anyway. Right, sorry it took a bit for me to remember how to hug the wall. It's one of those tricks that's always been part of the series, but in this game was changed just subtly enough between games to throw me off. Well, that one looked nice up until I saw the blade didn't actually touch him with the way the sprites and the sword lined up. Probably a very minor graphical issue since it's not like we get a zoom in for that, but it's still kinda noticeable. At the very least, it makes me wonder how the hell that guy ended up bleeding into the ground when we stabbed the wood next to him, not his skull or neck. Every other stealth kill looks pretty damn good and smooth. I guess the wall kill was just a little too ambitious considering the limits around here. Hell, the older games would just send you to kind of a pre-rendered kill animation where you did a stealth kill instead of keeping the gameplay flowing smoothly like this one does. Well, since looking at the map doesn't reveal enemy positions, I don't see too much need to do so around here. Anyway, nice to know that our nameless ninja here learned the art of swimming. Not that I'm planning on getting into the water all that often in our future, but it's nice that we have the option instead of it just being an instant death zone. Okay, that's definitely a neat, if circumstantial trick, and unfortunately we can't move while hiding underwater. We can only move when we're on the surface and possibly making noise. Not where I intended to jump there. I was hoping to end up on the edge at the very least. Ah well, at least we're dealing with an archer and not a swordsman. This series is rather notorious for making the melee combat system rather crappy to encourage you to deal with your enemies stealthily, and that translates to me cheating my ass off when dealing with bosses you have no choice to fight in the earlier entries of the series. And I'm fairly certain why we've never seen more Tenchu games after Z is because there's no excuse these days to have a clunky melee system in place. Hell, this game is about as unclunky in that regard as the series ever gets, hence why I don't feel the need to look up cheat codes for it. And holy shit, I don't remember that kind of sequence kills in the older games. I guess that's why the stealth kill animations don't interrupt gameplay like they used to. Well, it's a good thing the guy recoiled in shock for so long. I'd prefer to only have one hostile register as seeing us in the after mission report. Well, sir, I don't think you deserved your kind ruler image if you casually let your own guards get killed to train up your shinobi. Still, I'm looking forward to working for you. What, we don't get a title like Grandmaster or Ultimate Shadow or something? I'm sorry, but Ninja 5 doesn't really feel like the accomplishment it probably should feel like in this game.